All right, if you're watching this video, this is your official invite to participate in Front Row Dads. And I want to tell you, I'm so excited about you being part of this brotherhood. I couldn't be happier with how the whole thing's evolving, the relationships that are being built, the strategies that are being shared, the families that are being impacted, and ultimately the kids that are getting the dads that they deserve. I'm really excited about why we're doing this whole thing. And speaking of the why, the purpose, and the meaning, I was in a conversation with John Israel recently, Front Row Dad. And if you don't know him, he's an epic guy. And we were just sitting down chatting, and he was talking about how, hey, I've really enjoyed the retreats and I'm going to keep coming back, but I'm not sure I understand, John, exactly why you're doing this. Like, what's your meaning and purpose and motivation behind it all? I'm not sure I know exactly. And I told him, and he said, oh, you got to make sure that all the dads know this. So in case we haven't talked about it, I want to open up a little bit and tell you why I'm doing the Front Row Dads thing and why in 2018 I'm going all in. I'm literally shifting my business around. We're launching the Front Row Dads podcast. We're building the Front Row Dads website, and we're going big with Front Row Dads in 2018. I'm really excited about it. But here's where it all began. I think the first thing is that it began with a pain point in my life, which is feeling like I had a dad who wasn't fully engaged. Now, I love my dad. We have a great relationship today. He was a Navy captain. You know, he was up and at work before I was out of bed. He worked his butt off. He was highly disciplined, highly focused, very successful. He went to the gym every day. He came home. We had a great dinner, and then he read the newspaper. So he's a very educated man, very focused man. But I think we lacked some of that connection. And he has apologized repeatedly to me about that over the years, that he felt like he missed out on my childhood and it's his biggest regret. And I just don't want to make the same mistake. I just want to learn from that experience. And so I want my kids to have a different experience. I think we all do. We want to take the best of our parents and bring that in. And then we want to fix some of the challenges. And hopefully every generation will be better and better and better than the last. So I want to share with you that that's really a pain point for me. One of the reasons I want to do this now, to make sure that I don't miss that small window. I mean, I did crunch some numbers recently, and I was like, wow, when your kid's born until they're 18, you get 936 weekends with them. That's it. 936 Saturday mornings. And it's a finite amount, and we've got to use every single one of our opportunities and our moments so that we can have the maximum impact and influence in the ways that we want to intentionally. So let me tell you where the dad's retreat actually began. So a couple of years ago, I was at a party and somebody said, hey, John, what do you do? And I went into my normal, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, I run this charity. And then I stopped myself and I said, actually, I'm a father and a husband. And when I'm not doing that, I happen to do all these other things. That was the first moment I realized that I wasn't a businessman with a family. I was a family man with a business. Then I saw the whole world differently. I remember sitting down looking at my computer and I saw all these folders for things that were important in my life. I had one for the charity and one for my business. I looked at my calendar and I saw all these events that I was going to. I went to a speaking event and that was great. I doubled my speaking fee. I became a better speaker. I went to Best Year Ever and Front Row Celebration, and I learned all about creating my best year ever. And I learned we raised money for Front Row Foundation. All these events were great. And all this time that I was investing was well spent. However, if my priority was my family, my calendar was not a reflection of that priority. So I knew something needed to change. Why wouldn't I apply the same principles that was growing my business or my personal life to my family life? Well, it seems obvious now, but I wasn't doing it at the time. I wasn't investing time, energy, or resources into it the way that I knew that I could and should. So I started looking around and I saw these different dads groups, and they're great. Some of them are run by great friends of mine like Larry Hagner, and love these guys and great communities. But the very specific way that I wanted to grow, the number of events, the way the community was formed, the type of people that we attracted, I had something very specific in mind, and that's when we started Front Row Dads. So in October of 2016, we had our first event. We had 30-some guys come from all over. It was in Philadelphia. It was awesome. And I walked away a better person. I walked away one step closer to being the dad that my kids deserved. And I had enough close friends in the room to know that they all walked away with an idea or two or three that were game changers for their family. John Kane has publicly said that this one idea he got at a Front Row Dads retreat has completely transformed his family. That's the power of being able to step back, retreat, get around other amazing people, get some ideas, and then go back. And this idea of working on ourselves so that we can then go back and crush it in our business and our family life makes a lot of sense, but I just wasn't doing it. And at the time I had a 7-year-old, and for 7 years I'd been talking about being a great dad, but I really hadn't stepped up in that area. So I'm really excited about Front Row Dads. I'm excited about guys getting together, sharing best practices, deepening their sense of purpose, building relationships, and having those calls and those retreats on our calendars first. So we build our lives around what we feel is the most important. You know, coming to a call, Front Row Dads call, coming to a Front Row Dads retreat is just like anything else that's important in your life. Scheduling time at the gym, scheduling family vacations. These are all pillars of what allow our worlds to grow. And so I hope that you'll be part of our Front Row Dads community. You know, from this point moving forward, we need great guys like you. And the more great guys that we have like you in the group, participating and working to be better dads and husbands and individuals, it just overall, man, we get a chance to solve some of the world's biggest problems, starting with ourselves and our families, and then creating a ripple from there. Guys, that's it for now. Hope you'll be with us for Front Row Dads. If you've got any questions, let me know, and I'll catch you on the next call or the next retreat. Take care.